Welcome back to the channel, another segment of Brian Reads the News. This is where I find an article online. I take it from my mouth to your ears, let you know what's going on in the world today. I've been working through an article, a Looper.com article of the most devastating final words actors said to their co-stars. Just finished that one up. It went over so well, I thought I would seek another one out. I found another one here. Let me give you guys a look. This one is the 25 famous last words that might make you cry. This article comes from the website list25.com. It says here, last words have a surprising way of sticking in your memories like glue. Over the years, famous people have said some truly haunting and sad things on their deathbeds. Some are simple words and others are long paragraphs, but their poignancy might resonate, making you curl up into a ball and cry. Still, sometimes we need to hear their words to get that little ounce of inspiration or revelation to live our life to the fullest. Are you curious what people have said? Here are 25 famous last words that might make you cry. Let's take a look. At number 25 is Paul Walker. Article says here, right before he drove off in his Porsche and got into his fatal car accident, Paul Walker told Jim Thorpe, "We will be back in 5 minutes. We will be back in 5 minutes." At number 24 is Eugene ONeal. Eugene ONeal. Famous playwright Eugene ONeal was born at a Broadway hotel in what is now Times Square. On his deathbed, he lay at a Boston hotel. His last words were, quote, I knew it, born in a hotel and goddammit, dying in a hotel room." At number 23 is Charles Gusman. Charles Gusman. Says here, working as a writer for radio and television for years, spinning stories for popular soap operas, Charles Gusman said before he died, quote, "And now for a final word from our sponsor." At number 22, Groucho Marx. Groucho Marx. Famous comedian Groucho Marx died in 1977, hospitalized in Los Angeles. His last words recorded were, quote, "This is no way to live." At number 21, Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill. Says here, Winston Churchill bravely led England and the Allies through World War II, but kept active after it. Reaching the age of 90 in 1965, he said on his deathbed, quote, "I'm bored with it all. I'm bored with it all." At number 20 is Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. American singer, actor, and entertainer Frank Sinatra was forced to be reckoned with in the 1950s. In 1998, he suffered a horrible heart attack that left him critical until he died. With his wife by his side, he said, quote, "I'm losing it." At number 19 is Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford. Huge Hollywood actress Joan Crawford was diagnosed with cancer in her 70s. In her last days, 2 nurses came by her side and started praying. She said before she died, quote, "Don't you dare ask God to help me. Don't you dare ask God to help me." At number 18 is Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson. Perhaps one of the most well-known poets of all time, Emily Dickinson was delicate in her last days. Before she died, she was confined to her bed and left a note. It read, quote, "I must go in, the fog is rising. I must go in, the fog is rising." At number 17 is Truman Capote. Truman Capote. Truman Capote was a journalist and novelist famous for his true crime novel In Cold Blood. He died in the LA home of Joan Carson. On his deathbed, he said, quote, "It's me, it's Buddy, I'm cold." Buddy was his childhood nickname. "It's me, it's Buddy, I'm cold." At number 16 is Jane Austen. Jane Austen. Says here, Jane Austen is a novelist who needs no introduction. Famed for her many novels, she always seemed to have a way with words. Sadly, on her deathbed, all she could say was, quote, "I want nothing but death. I want nothing but death." At number 15 is Hunter S. Thompson. Hunter S. Thompson. In his suicide note, Hunter S. Thompson wrote, quote, "Relax, this won't hurt." The prolific and acclaimed writer shot himself in the head. Relax, this won't hurt. At number 14 is John Adams. John Adams. The second president of the United States, John Adams, is infamously known to have an on and off relationship with Thomas Jefferson. On his deathbed, Adams said, quote, "Thomas Jefferson still survives." Little did he know Jefferson had died hours earlier. At number 13 is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison. The famous inventor Thomas Edison lay in a coma before his death. When he awoke briefly, he said, quote, "It is very beautiful over there. It is very beautiful over there." At number 12 is Ludwig van Beethoven. Ludwig van Beethoven. Ludwig van Beethoven is one of the most legendary composers of all time. He called his Fifth Symphony Fate Knocking at the Door. On his deathbed, his final words were, quote, "Friends applaud, the comedy is over." Friends applaud, the comedy is over. At number 11 is Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. With his charismatic personality and enthusiasm for wildlife, he educated us about some of the world's most dangerous creatures. Sadly, Steve Irwin passed away when he was struck in the chest by a stingray. According to his cameraman, his last words were, "I'm dying. I'm dying." At number 10 is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Throughout his career, Steve Jobs revolutionized the technology industry. He built Apple into a technology powerhouse, but tragically had suffered from pancreatic cancer for 10 years. On his deathbed, his last words were, quote, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." At number 9 is Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton. Famous scientist and mathematician Isaac Newton pushed the sciences forward great leaps and bounds, and he was not a man of few words. He said before he died, quote, "I don't know what I may seem to the world, but as to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore and diverting myself now and then into finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than the ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." Whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me. At number 8 is Michael Landon. Michael Landon. Many knew Michael Landon as the actor from Little House on the Prairie and Bonanza. He shocked fans when he announced he had terminal pancreatic cancer. But before he died, he said, quote, "You're right, it's time, I love you all. You're right, it's time, I love you all." At number 7 is Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston. In her last days, famous singer and actress Whitney Houston spoke to her friends and family about Jesus. The night before she died, she told her friend, quote, "I'm gonna go see Jesus. I want to see Jesus." Quote, "I'm gonna go see Jesus. I want to see Jesus." At number 6 is Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy. Actor and director Leonard Nimoy entertained and enlightened us for years on Star Trek. With the final tweet, he did it again. He wrote, quote, "A life is like a garden. Perfect moments can be had but not preserved, except in memory." LLAP, LLAP, of course, stands for Live Long and Prosper. Live long and prosper. At number 5 is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. The king of pop, Michael Jackson, was tragically addicted to propofol, and his doctor Conrad Murray continued to give it to him even when he shouldn't have. The addiction led to Jackson's eventual death, and in his last words he said, quote, "Milk. Milk was his term for propofol." Quote, milk. At number 4 is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin accomplished quite a lot in life. He was one of America's founding fathers, an inventor, and an author. Before he died, he said, quote, "A dying man can do nothing easy. A dying man can do nothing easy." At number 3 is Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway. One of the most famous American authors in history, Ernest Hemingway traveled the world and found great success and failure in his publishing career. Right before he shot himself, he said to his wife, quote, "Good night, my kitten. Good night, my kitten." At number 2 is Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse's music career skyrocketed, but along with the success came drugs and alcohol addiction. She saw her doctor the night before her death, and Winehouse stated, quote, "I don't want to die." She died of alcohol toxicity. Quote, "I don't want to die." Finally, at number 1 is Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. Actor Heath Ledger wowed us in his performance as the Joker in the movie The Dark Knight, but behind the scenes he suffered from insomnia, complaining about not being able to go to sleep. He mixed prescription medicine with sleeping pills. Before he died, he said to his sister, quote, Katie, look, I'll be fine. You know, I just need some sleep." Katie, look, I'll be fine. You know, I just need to get some sleep. So there you have it, another successful segment of Brian Reads the News. Again, this is the 25 famous last words that might make you cry. It comes from the website list25.com if you want to check it out in more detail. I like to do these Brian Reads the News segments, so if you like this sort of thing, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring that notification bell, that way you'll be notified when the next one of these drops. Thanks again for watching this one to the end. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.